And hello and welcome to the February live stream of Tridion. And today we're going to be going over a couple of interesting updates. We've got some updates about the release. We've got a customer update. I've got news about some events. And then I also have two guests who are going to be joining me. The comments should be open. So if you are interested in doing some chatting, please feel free to enter some questions you might have into the chat box. And at the end, if there's some questions, we'll go ahead and we'll answer it. So let's talk quickly about the agenda. So Tridion Sites 10 has been extremely well received by a lot of our customers. A lot of our customers are starting to either move to Tridion Sites 10 or they've got plans to move there. We have also been doing some quick updates as well for Tridion Sites 10. As you might recall, the last time that we spoke, I talked a little bit about the publishing queue that we introduced. So if you move up to Tridion Sites 10, you get this nice publishing queue. We also did another update a couple of weeks ago, which just helped people do things like on workflows. They can now add labels to some of the workflows. And that was a feature that we had previously in Tridion. Not many people were actually using it, but there were a couple of customers who were using it. And what we wanted to do is we want to incorporate that small little feature into a quick update, so that would remove a barrier to moving up to Tridion Sites 10. As well, we have some exciting news. We actually have our first customer who's gone live on Tridion Sites 10, and this is EVA Airlines. If you don't know EVA Airlines, they're wonderful airlines based in Taiwan, and they are sort of redefining like luxury experiences in the air. So, and if you've flown with them, you know exactly what I mean. One thing that we've done with their website is we've worked with them to make it extremely performant. And when I went to the EVA Airways website, I was amazed at just how fast everything was going. So just out of curiosity, I ran Google Lighthouse and I was like, okay, let's actually see this. And I just picked a random page and it came, the performance score was 100. And I've never seen that on like regular websites that I've gone to. And to me, this brings up a really important point, and that is that as you're thinking about modernizing your content management system, there also should be some thought about like modernizing the actual delivery application that's there. And if performance or if SEO optimization or accessibility, or if any of those things are goals of yours, work with us and we'll help you get to where you want to be in terms of optimizing the actual way that the content gets delivered and the way that it gets your content gets pushed to the edge and the way that your templates works, etc. So moving on, we've got a webinar on February 29th. So in 4 weeks from now, I'll be speaking with Joe Pearman about the Tridion roadmap, and we'll also be talking about some trends. So it'll be a longer session. It'll be about 45 minutes, and it'll be about what's really going on in the marketplace. So if you like these live streams, you'll love the more in-depth webinar that we've got going. As well, there's two other important dates. We've got some innovation days that we've partnered with AWS on. So the first one is March 28th in San Francisco, and then we've got another one on April 22nd. And for the March 28th one, I think I'm going to be speaking there. So if you want to come and meet me, reach out to your account executive, get an invitation to the San Francisco session, and let's shake hands. So we've got two guests who are going to be coming up. So the first guest is Alvin Reyes from Professional Services, and then we've got Velu as well. So with that said, let me go into the virtual backstage and bring out Alvin. All right. And let me just close that up. There we go. And we are live. Hey, Alvin.
Hey, Greg. How's it going?
It's going very well. So you're in professional services, but you're also responsible for doing some updates to the RWS University.
Yes. I'm not the only one responsible. I just get lucky to get the opportunity to work on some of the materials. So the RWS University is available at university.rws.com. That's free registration. One of the materials that I had a pleasure of working on was the GraphQL training, and this
Okay.
is specifically for dynamic experience delivery, content
Hmm.
delivery, the Content Hub API that we've talked about before, um, e-learn, the e-learning module for that. So I got to contribute a small part to that. Uh, a lot of that was with other colleagues. Angel and Sumava worked on all the technical bits, but I got to figure out some of the queries. This time on the doc side.
Oh.
We also have. I got a chance to work on the Tridion Sites 10 Delta materials. This one is an instructor-led in-person version with a little bit more based on the roadmap. Sorry, the bootcamp sessions that came out after Tridion Sites 10. So that's also available if you're interested. And if you have any questions about these courses or more, you can email learn@rws.com. And we might have some other things I can't just mention just yet that we're working on.
Okay.
This is definitely something that's fun. And it is. The last thing I want to mention was uh, I wanted to thank you because you've been able to provide us the one demo environment.
Oh.
So instead of just the basic DXA, which is has its bootstrap and kind of classic look,
Right.
we get to use the one demo environment for these exercises and walkthroughs and software simulations, which is it's as fun and challenging as recording the perfect voicemail outro. You get it right at the very last one, and it takes a little bit longer than you expect, but it's worth it. I
Oh,
think that's it for e-learning and the university. Oh, and speaking of conferences, I've been volunteered to co-present at Convex,
oh,
the
okay.
structured content conference in Minneapolis coming up in April.
Oh,
So
okay.
expect to hear a little bit more about that, and that's also another Tridion project. Again on the doc side. So
Right.
I'm getting a chance to work on both products, and it's a lot of fun and it's quite exciting.
That sounds great. And Alvin, I got a question for that in-person training. How many days is it for customers?
It's about a day.
It's
It's
about a
about a
day.
day. So
Okay.
if we do online training, we try not to do the 8 hours. That's
Okay.
crazy. We'll do it over like 2 3 sessions, scheduling it with the team. Um, but for um, the Delta, that would be a day, in person or again spread over a couple of sessions.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. And I guess we'll have to have you on like next month to get some more updates about some of the courses that you're working on. But I know
Definitely.
there's a lot of interest for the online courses and also for the in-person courses. And I think especially now that people are moving to 10, they want to get their teams trained on all the new features, etc. And it's very funny because sometimes you can just see like this aha moment when people move to Tridion Sites 10, where there is a special button that they can push to solve that problem that has been, irking them for the last 5 years.
Oh
So,
no, yeah, for sure. Well, after using Experience Space, especially for a while now as a user, rather than being on the product side, I'm starting to expect some of those features to show up in the classic UI. I'm like, where's the button to jump through the blueprint?
yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm like, so the muscle memory for the new UI is coming, and it's quite exciting seeing the difference and seeing how even someone who's been old time user being able to transition to a new UI. So
Exactly.
I'm
And
loving
people
it.
are
Yeah,
very resistant to change, but if once you get them going on Tridion Sites 10, there's like no going back. It's amazing. So,
for sure.
yeah. And congrats. And by the way, for everybody on the live stream, I don't know if you know this, but Alvin Reyes was the person or one of the designers who was responsible for that brand new UI. So if you love that new UI, it was Alvin who was the product manager to put that all together. Um, so
Yes,
so
I
thank you,
I
Alvin.
help pleasure. I helped prioritize things. It was a whole team to orchestrate and do all the heavy lifting and work. But it was nice being in the spot, listening to customers with all their feedback and everything, and getting everything we could into that first release.
Hmm.
And then the team since then has been running with it, and it's awesome seeing what they're doing with it now.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so let's move on to the next topic. So I'm going to go backstage and I'm going to pull in Velu, who's going to join. Velu's also from professional services. And let's go and see. Hey, welcome, Velu.
Hey Craig, hi Alvin, how are you doing?
We're doing well. So Velu
Good,
has
good.
been busy working on DXA, which is it's another three-letter acronym, Dynamic Experience Accelerator. What it is essentially, it's a web application framework that serves as a reference app implementation for a lot of our customers. It's got an MVC architecture, a model view control architecture. God, we use a lot of acronyms here. But it is something that we've been updating, and Velu is here to share some of those updates and what he's been working on with DXA.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we will be plan to creating 2.3 release. So why we plan to build this DXA 2.3? Yeah, there is no currently there is a lot of functional difference between DXA 2.2 to 2.3, but the version 2.3 it actually resolves a lot of security vulnerabilities with the third-party dependencies. Yeah, some could be resolved moving to the Spring Boot Framework 6. Also, customers who want to move to Java 17 for JDK. So there are a couple of decisions why we want to. So because the current version of Tridion sites with TXE Java, it's right now the prerequisite is not met, it's not support, it's not working, and that's also the reason why we decided to upgrade it to support to release the next version of release TXA 2.3 for Java. But we also thought, okay, it's still .NET works 2.2 in site strength, no problem with that. But also we looking at our customer asking, hey, we are in Microsoft moving old version going in .NET 4.8, the last version framework, but also Microsoft already start moving to .NET Core, and there is no upgrade or support anything from our side. So we also decided maybe we could also release both Java and .NET as a
Mm-hmm.
DXA 2.3, at least to get some benefit to bring DXA .NET into 4.8. And we also thought maybe we could also chip with some features in .NET for out of the box CD search, sites CD search. There is so we actually extended our current GraphQL site, some endpoints, some APIs which we delivered in Sites 10 backend. So now we also have GraphQL provided to utilize the new features what is delivered in Sites 10 for extending um, search module to have your own search module. So we also shipping free some out of the box search functionality in the search module, and also the APIs available in case customer interested to build with pool party integration with Facet Search. So
Mm-hmm.
that's also catered in our backend system and the GraphQL API provider. So you can all do with the DXA setup. So we also decided to keep it. Maybe if some customer they still want to have a hot fix, people using DXA 2.2. So if customer want to go to site stand with the latest version at DXA 2.3, so we kept the two different the release branches in our
Okay.
repository, so we could actually keep support and provide compatibility. So right now, if you look at the Java uh, version is actually based on 2.2. It's compatible with Java 8 and running in 11. It's based on Spring Framework 5, and the 2.3 it's compatible with the Java 17.
Okay.
It's and running with the Spring Framework 6 because frameworks is it's utilizing the new the Jakarta the servlet API, the replacement of the old Java servlet API. So that's at least yeah, it's so the one thing is TX 2.3 in Java is no longer compatible with Tomcat 9 because it's only compatible with Tomcat 10.
Okay.
So it's all information. It's available or documented in our chat, but soon we will be making the XA 3.0 version to the community. Uh, but we are at the moment we created internally. We going uh, testing, and once we have a stable release version, so then we will publish to community.
And I've got a question just in terms of where people can go to get more information. I assume that GitHub is still the place where people can see more information
Yeah.
about DXA. Okay, I think that's great. And I just had a functional question, just in terms of the search, and my ears perked up because search is always a big topic for our customers. So will we have a search module that can work independent of semantic AI and pool party, and then one that will work with semantic AI and pool party, or how's that going to work?
At the moment, we include the basic search module. At least
Okay.
you can publish or headless content into the backend, so you don't
Mm-hmm.
need for any search module TXA implementation. Anything, you can simply have content published as a data templateless publishing with the data pipeline, and that data goes to OpenSearch.
Mm-hmm.
And the module which we shipped with extra parameter in the 2.3. So, for example, right now our out of the box module only supported for SI40 based backend is Solar.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's also cloud search based on Solar. That's what it is. The existing module, search module, and that module we enhanced to add an extra one more provider to support with our Tridion site city search. So it's parameterized. Still, customer can continue to install. So it's already upgraded to latest framework, and then you can enable basic search that will search web app with open source data what you publish already in the headless publishing.
Mm-hmm.
So in the latest version of search features with R&D, they also enable, so you can actually control which field to index, which field shouldn't be indexable or searchable. So there is a option you can nicely go through and then enable those features in your client sites, in your schema, in your content model. And then, yeah, it's already available as a basic search, but the API already available. So basic search already working. So you could
Right.
use a search module. It gives data already from open search through the GraphQL API. So that basically in the previous search module directly talk web app to Solar.
Right.
But in the latest search module, it will actually work through the GraphQL endpoints, the search endpoint. So
Got
basically,
it.
you don't need to expose your open search to web app directly. You can only expose to a search your content service where you, and then the GraphQL core will talk to your open search is still more secure. So that for all web app, you only need your GraphQL endpoint,
Mm-hmm.
and then your search also can able to get some data from out of the box CD search.
That sounds great. So it seems like this is more than just like, a platform update. It's really a functional update as well with
Yeah.
search. Alvin, do you have any thoughts on search or DXA in general?
Yeah, you said you updated the GraphQL provider.
Yeah.
Is that just in DXA, or could you use the provider outside of the DXA platform?
Yeah, this already shipped separately as a DXA .NET provider. So you could use it without DXA also. For example, if I want to implement something for headless implementation, completely, hey, I don't want DXA anymore. Can I use it? Yes, it's possible because it's already comes with a separate project in our repository. It's also available, as a Looker package when we publish to 2.3. So maybe next week we will have TXA 2.3 preview 1 in Nuket package, so you can already get to a GraphQL provider with the latest 4.8 supported. But yes, answer to a question, yes, you could use. It's already completely isolated separately. Even TXA, it just uses that GraphQL provider.
Okay,
So if
that's
somebody, if they want to use a headless implementation, yes, it's possible because it is already the way you set it up, .NET 4.8. If you want to even take the GraphQL provider, if you want to use it for .NET Core, it's already providing possibility because I already upgraded the GraphQL provider to .NET Core 6. It's easy, so there's no problem with that. The the,
nice,
the
nice,
only, yeah, that possible.
nice. This is good to know
Yeah.
because GraphQL is not necessarily new, but it might be new to Tridion implementations. And if you want to come over and you don't necessarily want to create your own client, you can use that one, or even contribute to it, or you can roll your own, like just generate and create your own client, right?
Right.
For whatever language you're working with. That was the keynote that you were explaining to me that I wanted to highlight. So definitely check out the provider, the GraphQL provider that's out on community, also on GitHub, right?
That sounds great.
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, and it's funny in these live stream sessions, right? We do some business and a bit of technical. So, I appreciate some of that technical insight, and I also think that'll be interesting for a lot of our customers to sort of modernize their DXA implementations as well. There's multiple levels of sort of upgrades and improvements that people can do, and that's a funny thing when people think about CMS software and delivery applications. It doesn't really stand still. Like, everything's always changing, and it's changing from some of the platform stuff, and then it's also changing from like some of the new requirements that are coming from the web. So there are no questions on the chat, so I think we'll wrap up here. I'll say that the next thing is a webinar coming up on the 28th. It's going to be posted in the event section of the RWS site, so sign up for that webinar. Next month, it looks like I've got 2 partners who are going to be coming on, and these aren't implementation partners, they're technology partners. We're going to be having a session with one of our partners that does accessibility solutions that works with Tridion, and then we've got another partner that's created an AI assistant, and so it's very exciting. And I know everybody's talking about AI. We've got some solutions that are in place, so we'll show you what we've got next month. So thank you for joining, and we'll talk to you next month. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome.
All right, and thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Cheers.